Now, I'm going to turn things over to Jason, who's going to bring up our panel. So Jason, come on up. And panelists, if you would like to come up.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Great. Thank you.
All right. I love this section because it's the interactive part where we get to talk to folks who are actually building. And love seeing the full room here and the energy. Let's get into it. So I'd love to call up Doug, Amit, and Sanjay, if you can join me up here. Great. Thank you, Doug, for flying in this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have a seat. Amit, good to see you. Thank you for coming all the way. I think you had the longest trip. All right, good. Let's get into it. So I appreciate you guys coming out for this and enjoying the show here so far. What do you think of the announcements?
That's great.
Yeah, I love the boosters.
The boosters were very nice.
Awesome, awesome. So I'd like to just have each of you do a quick intro, and then we'll kind of get into a bit of the details. So if you just kind of start with yourself.
Sure. So I'm Sanjay, the founder of a company called Fielo. We do loyalty applications for consumer loyalty as well as channel partner loyalty.
Awesome.
Doug Weatherhead, Chief Commercial Officer at Espero. I come from Florida this morning. I'll try to give a little bit more lens on the sales and marketing of how these types of solutions help on the commercial front a little bit differently. Espero focuses on the clinical research industry, so protocols within the clinical trials, digitization, automation within that side of the house. Very regulated, I would argue more regulated than fintech. So if you have more of a regulated market, I'm happy to talk shop afterwards as well.
Hi, Amit Agrawal. I'm the CEO and founder of AI for Process. We do services based on talent, innovation, and consultancy, and we are now going into provider services. So we are launching smart props, and so it's good to be a part of this. Thank you.
Great, excellent. So I'll start with you, Sanjay. Maybe you talk a little bit about the situation and the pain that you were in that brought you to Launchpad. And we just started talking, I think it was back in December, and I know you were going through some changes in your business. Right. So talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So, yeah, it's been so fast. I mean, December, it's like we're already here on PegaWorld.
Yeah.
So we've been around as a business for over 10 years, and we actually built an application in another ecosystem. You may be familiar with it, Salesforce. And so we have a native app on the Salesforce ecosystem, which does consumer loyalty, does business loyalty, B2B and B2C. And we grew pretty well within the Salesforce ecosystem. But then we got to an inflection point where we said, okay, how do we go beyond Salesforce? And so we started building kind of an ecosystem agnostic platform on our own. And 6 months into it, we're like, oh my gosh, this is a huge undertaking, right? Because you have to think of all the stuff that we were used to Salesforce taking care of for us, but now we had to do it on our own. The problem with Salesforce is that you build it for that ecosystem, for Salesforce customers. And we wanted to build something for the larger market. And then I watched Jason on a podcast. Oh, that sounds interesting, and got in touch with him over LinkedIn. And,
awesome.
3 months later, here we are, right?
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. It's been quite a fast ride that we've been on so far. Yes, awesome. So maybe just talk a little bit about kind of the situation and pain. I'd say, so Sanjay is coming from a software company that's been existing for a while. You're with a startup. So I think from a startup perspective,
yeah. We're all in initially with Launchpad. So from the get-go, for us, our biggest challenge probably was more around getting to market really fast. I think every industry is like this, where there's new trends and topics or categories emerging from the analysts. For us, digitization and automation within clinical research is a very early category, and we had this vision at Espero for a while now, but wanting to get to market fast, to be maybe not first to market, but have a strong position second to market, and we see a lot of competitors coming in. So for us, it's about speed of go-to-market.
Awesome. Great. Amit, in terms of yourself as a services company, we see a lot of services companies kind of getting into, the product and solutions business. And so maybe talk about your situation and why Launchpad was attractive and kind of what prompted you to kind of get started. I know we met last year in the UK and you were like really excited to get going and now you've come a long way since then.
Yeah, I think doing services really helped us to build the capability in Pega, and Launchpad was kind of a solution I think we were waiting for, because we were looking into other technologies as well, like Creatio, OutSystem, but the speed of innovation, what we saw in Launchpad, really helped us to select as a technology and go for it. And it was easy for us to cross-train our people into Launchpad. And I think that's the success. That's a pusher for AI for process to quickly go into a product side.
Nice. So now you're kind of transforming your business a bit, complementing your services business now with some productization.
Correct, yeah. So it has really helped, because now we have a training program in our Launchpad where we help our people to learn quickly. We have built PO Assist in Launchpad using Gen AI capability now. So taking the blueprint, getting all the way to a user story catalog and the test cases, it's quick, very booster kind of thing for us now.
Nice, excellent, great. So let's shift into just a little bit about what you folks are each building on Launchpad. And so Sanjay, starting with you in terms of maybe giving a little bit of an overview of the application that you're building on Launchpad first.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we build a loyalty application. So think of, everybody here is probably part of a loyalty program. The software that runs behind it to support these programs can be pretty complex, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but if you were to join all the loyalty points in the world, it would be the third largest currency, right, after the euro and the dollar. So it's a huge market. Lots of companies use it and everybody's familiar with it, but there's a lot of complexity and security and rules because you're managing essentially money. And so, and when you think about enterprise grade with very large companies, you need a really secure platform. You need, enterprise grade stability. And so as we were thinking about, the next level of growth, and we signed up this very large customer, which is Burger King, and they've got a 20 million member program, and we've got this tight deadline. And so we're like, okay, how are we going to get this done by this date? And so that's been extremely interesting to do it on Launchpad, because we're actually very pleasantly surprised by how fast we're moving. First time in our history where we're like, oh, we're actually ahead of schedule.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's great. And I think just in terms of B2C and the volumes, I mean, that was one of the things that you were talking about was a challenge before around hitting limits and such, and now the scalability that we've got.
The challenge with, shared environments is that you hit these governor limits, right? Because you can't take all the CPU processing power or storage for yourself. What we see in Launchpad is this complete elasticity. So, you use as much as you want or as you need, and you pay for that, right? This consumption model is really super cool. And so these programs, I mean, you can imagine loyalty programs, go into tens of millions of consumers, each one transacting, generating points. I think of a large grocery chain with all those cash registers, and everybody's doing multiple product SKUs, and it's calculating in real time, how many points to give based on the product. It's very complex. And so to be able to rely on a platform like this was, we had to go through that analysis, and it's been pretty good so far.
Nice, excellent. And on the Espero side, so maybe just a little bit about, you talked a bit about the product, so maybe just share, kind of, a little bit more on the product and what it does, and why Launchpad is kind of giving you guys like the full stack solution, whereas Sanjay's kind of taking a portion of his business, you're kind of running your whole business on it.
Sure. I'll step back real quick and talk about clinical research, which is very interesting. There's not too many people in that world. But it's still done on paper. It's still done in Excel considerably, so probably about a 20-year laggard industry, generally speaking. So when I talk about digitization and automation, it's not usually in the conversation for most people. Every clinical trial, we hear these things from Pfizer and COVID-19 and Moderna, is written on a protocol. It's a 140-page document. What they do is they spend 6 months building this document, and then they literally hand it over to other people to read it, and then program about 38 other systems for that study. So we moderate the workflow, and every client works differently. The review process is different, the approval process is different, the template is different. So the configuration changes are very helpful in Launchpad. But where the secret sauce is, now everything's in the system, it's digitized, it's not a PDF and Word document. We're actually able to extract all that metadata and then send it downstream to the systems for operational efficiency. So we're automating systems downstream. I mentioned that 38 number. When you start amortizing that across entire like a Pfizer portfolio, you're talking $30 or $50 million of cost savings just by digitizing this document and automating downstream systems. So Launchpad helps us with that. I'll give a commercial lens to it a little bit too, because I know we're talking about product development a lot. From a sales side, it's great. Our customers, ACV usually ranges between $300 to $3 million. They want to see what it looks like for them. Every case is a little bit different. So reducing your solution consultants or sales engineers, whatever you want to call that, and actually get them bespoke demos or bespoke sandboxes and trials so they actually see it before you get into an ELA type conversation, significantly decreases the resources on the commercial team. So as we're an early stage company, as we mentioned earlier, all this goes into the investor roadshow. So when you show lower COGS, lower S&M costs, it really helps the balance sheet overall for the investment side too.
Awesome. Excellent. And Amit, give us a picture of what you're building.
Yeah, so I think there's a big problem in real estate. There's still silos, they still use Excel, and it's nobody believes that the value of real estate is far more greater than private equity. But the amount of operations they do is not smooth. So this is where we came into picture. We have the domain expertise in real estate now, and the way we build the solution is actually killing all the silos. So end to end, from viewing an apartment or a commercial property to all the way selecting, invoicing, the whole journey to sales agreement, everything is at one place. So all the stakeholders, whether it's like senior stakeholders, they see the reports on the fly, on mobile, and even the finance person, they know what is happening, who is paid, who is not paid. So there's a lot of problems there, which now we have solved. So it's quite good to see that. And that's one part of the real estate thing. The second is we're doing construction management as well on top of it. So construction management is another add-on application which shows the whole construction, how we do the tender management, the other things which comes on top of it. And then, of course, we do property management, and then there's a lead management as well. So these are the further use cases which are sitting as the top of real estate. And so I think as a customer, means I myself invest in real estate, I'm sure everybody does here. The view you get exactly where you are with your property, where they are, how much you've invested, what is going on is very clear now. So it's kind of a win-win situation for all of them.
Nice. So I would imagine that this has kind of expanded the market that you could sell to as a company, and the real estate market is massive. I mean, how many organizations could you sell this solution to?
So currently we already signed a couple of subscribers. We got 5 still waiting to come on boards after this event. We are looking at India right now, and India just one particular city, Kolkata for now. And the way whenever I go back to India, is like each city is growing by 20 kilometers in all directions. So it's the real estate is quite booming there, and it's always booming there. But I think the process is not there to handle this. So definitely, I think our target is to get at least 10, 15 subscribers by end of the year.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. And I'd imagine that there's tens of thousands of organizations you could sell to. So this opens up kind of a new revenue stream for you and your whole business.
Yes, it does. Because if you start thinking how much data you got, how much, you can sell them sub-products like insurance, for example.
Sure.
So this kind of, a lot of opportunities are there. So it's really helped.
Yeah, awesome. So I think we've heard kind of 3 very different types of solutions, 3 different markets that you're going after. You're going after a high volume use case with consumers. You've got kind of a lower volume, high value, kind of enterprise grade solution selling to Fortune 500 organizations. And then you've got a solution that's going to really open up kind of new revenue opportunity for you. So I think it's pretty cool how the same product is addressing the different needs of those for you. So let's shift a little bit in terms of business strategy. And so I guess, and I'll leave it up to you guys who wants to jump in. But how would you say that SaaS fits into your overall business strategy?
100% of our strategy.
All right.
100%.
Yep. How about you, Sanjay?
Likewise, I mean,
So you came from a services company,
yeah.
and now
so
you've moved.
That's right. So
right?
our history is we actually began as a 100% services company, and then at some point we kind of said we want to own the IP, and we started building a subdivision within the services company, and then eventually spun it off, and it's now the majority of the business is on this product side.
Yeah. So you've completely transformed your business.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. And then Launchpad's kind of driving the next
Now,
chapter. of
yeah,
that.
exactly. Launchpad's the next stage of
Awesome.
growth.
Great.
Yeah, we are beginning the journey now in AI for process. So definitely we see a lot of things happening in Launchpad. So for example, we build our training app in Launchpad now. So it's not about our AI for process internal team training. It can be done to other providers as well. So we can train people, and even like we are booking appointment booking system in healthcare. So that's something we're working in UK. Public sector side.
So you have multiple products you're building
Yeah,
out now.
so that's something. So we are kind of moving more towards being a provider than services side.
Nice. Awesome. And why would you say that Launchpad was the right platform for making this kind of pivot in your business, or in your case, kind of starting on?
Yeah, I think it's not just the software. I think the software's great. I think the service and support from you and your team is very helpful for us. We're super lean where we're at, so we have to use our resources appropriately, and I think we get a lot of that kind of holistic product that includes the services of Pega to help us with that.
Nice.
Yeah, for us, it was a combination of factors, but speed was definitely one of them. Just the market's moving so fast, our competitors are coming out with new products, and we just needed to get into market with something that was, new. The other big element of it was the AI piece of it, right? We've been slow with AI adoption, frankly, in our traditional business, and Launchpad provided us a way to just become AI first, really, in a way. So that was, I think, super.
I think that was one of the first things you said to me. You
That's
were like,
right.
hey, we need to be faster on AI. How do we do this, and
Right.
how can you guys help us? So
Right.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really helped. I think the AI part is currently for onboarding a customer into smart properties, they can scan any documents, so we identify what kind of document it is. So they don't need to specify its passport or driving license or one of the Indian identity. We just understand that kind of document it is, and we extract the data. And the speed of development, I think, from the blueprint to creating the user stories to test cases, means I was ready to develop the product in day one, from the idea to day one. So I think the speed of development and the amount of testing we did, within 3 months we went live. So
Wow.
that was quite fast for us.
Awesome.
I got another one that
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people appreciate, but for us, when you're going to large enterprises, they have tens or decades of legacy and tech debt systems that they built. So integrating into those systems seamlessly and embedding in the workflow, so that way you're not having to rewrite a new system on their side. So the open architecture, bringing all their data, or if it's another system or a partner on top of that, having that open API architecture is very helpful.
Yep. So help with the integrations was a big
Yes.
thing. Yep. Cool. So I guess probably less for you, but I think for Sanjay and Amit, what organizational changes did you have to adopt, to kind of start to look at SaaS to transform your business, but also at Launchpad? Like, what kind of buy-in and such did this involve?
So we're building out a Launchpad specific team, right? That's just going to focus on this product, and the product manager, developers, QA, all of that.
Yep.
Because it's different skill sets, and people are going to move at different cadences and different release cycles. So that's one big thing. And then from a go-to-market perspective, I think we have to rethink some of the positioning in terms of, not just talking about our application, but the fact that our application can be, can come out faster with new features and new releases because of the platform that we're built on. So I think rethinking some of that product marketing side of it is also something that we have to do. We haven't done it yet, but it's next on our list.
Yeah, so it changes how you do development, how you think about development, and then maybe how you
and
can
how you
get more-
position. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I think from our side, it's more mindset, how you move from project to product.
Yeah.
So it was quite a journey for us to do that and get everybody up to speed. But it's kind of a divided organization now. So one part of the organization is very focused on product side. So it's a whole product development which can give real benefit quickly, not project which is incremental thing with every sprint development. So it's quite a bit of change on our organization side. And our go-to-market is now also changed. So we are going more on the campaign side. So we're providing all the builders associations. So how you can connect to few of the, for example, a different provider, and they can have multiple real estate builder associated with them. So those kind of things, we are looking into that kind of solution as well.
Nice. Yeah.
So one more thing. So I told you what we're doing additionally, but I also should talk about what we're not doing now because of Launchpad. So,
that'd be great.
before we were on Launchpad, we had this budget for hiring DevOps people and, infrastructure, kind of security and database managers and all that stuff. So all that's gone, right? Wow. we don't need any of that anymore. And that's super cool because then that releases budget that we can apply elsewhere towards growing the business.
Yeah. That's kind of what John was talking about, right?
Yes.
Focusing on your IP,
Right.
focusing on your go-to-market,
Right.
not having to worry about
Right.
all that stuff that doesn't really
That's a
add value as much.
Really big deal.
Yeah, cool. So a couple more targeted questions for each of you. So Sanjay, I'd say, looking at your technical team, what feedback might they give about working with Launchpad? Because it's been a few months, so
Right.
what would they say?
So, you guys have been phenomenal, right? So we bought this support package from you where, you not just provide software, but you give us, and it's been incredible, like the response time and all the technical support that we're getting from you and so on. But also the platform. This vibe coding stuff, you guys have to check it out. It's so cool. It's like futuristic, right? You write the stuff in and it just generates the code for you. And the thing is, this is where the world is going. At least that's our view. And so the sooner you get onto this, the better you'll be, right? You can wait and try to do things your way at some point, if you believe in AI, this is the future. And so, getting on early, I think, is a smart strategic move.
Great, appreciate that. And I guess, Amit, in terms of your team, any lessons learned or feedback from your team as they've kind of been on this Launchpad journey the last few months?
I think Frank's support team was fantastic. Means the way all the challenges were resolved was very quick. So the biggest challenge was a $sign in Indian app. So that was not very welcoming. So, but it was resolved very quickly, and this is fantastic. That's the good thing about and also that we don't have to worry anything about security side of the things because it's all taken care. So I'm not worried whether how much testing we have to do on that side. So that's all thing is taken away. As Sanjay mentioned, the whole infrastructure thing is gone. So it's really helped us, and I think quick response from Launchpad support team. I think it was a fantastic journey for us.
Nice, excellent. And Doug, I guess from your perspective, any unexpected benefits or limitations from using the platform?
I think the unexpected benefits is the thing I touched on earlier about just lowering the overall sales and marketing costs, or if you sometimes amortize that or put that under COGS, just really cleans it up. You can focus on more higher value. Actually, I think sales engineers are like the most valuable people in commercial org, but making sure you have the right ones because they're few and far between. So that was an unexpected benefit from my perspective. I always thought about it from the product development side, not the marketing or sales side. The challenge is just maybe keep on with the roadmap. These boosters are great. An example on that text extract, we started working with Amazon to build that organically, and that'll be in production later in about the end of quarter. So things like that are, I mean, you guys have a great line of sight onto what the market needs, and so those are unexpected as well.
Nice, excellent. And I guess a little bit more on the internal side, like what was the catalyst that drove you to leverage Launchpad, Amit? I know I came to meet you. I wouldn't take credit for being the catalyst, but what was, because I know you've been thinking about product for a while. So what sparked it?
I think me being very close to Pega, so that, and I believed Launchpad was the way I was seeing it is shaping up. It's getting all the benefit of Pega on it. So for me, it was no brainer at all. I think that's the biggest catalyst to help us taking away all the infrastructure, all the security, everything away, and just focus on the business. So
Yeah,
that was
nice,
good.
awesome, great. So let's pivot a little bit. And I know people are getting anxious to know who the award winners are, and so we'll continue through and talk about a bit about vision and kind of future plans. So in terms of, and I'll leave this open to all of you, as you look at kind of your SaaS business and the journey with Launchpad, how do you see this evolving in the next year or two, or kind of going forward, and what do you hope to get out of kind of this journey that we're all on together?
Yeah, so for us, it's a multiplier effect. I mean, we've been very successful in one ecosystem. With Launchpad, we hope to multiply that success across multiple ecosystems, right? So it's an agnostic platform, and we want to, as was mentioned earlier, be able to have an open architecture that integrates into different systems and really puts us on kind of a more of an accelerated growth trajectory.
Yep, and you've got many products within your company, and we've talked about kind of how you might look at your product strategy and kind of simplifying your business too.
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, the ability to build product quickly and it helps. So we've got a portfolio of products around the whole concept of loyalty and engagement, and so replatforming, them kind of in a phased approach. I mean, this is an interesting tidbit. Like, we had a 3-year roadmap to do that to the other platform that we were building. Now we're talking about a 12-month shift. So it's saving time, like 70% reduction. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Evolution, I think it's just going to become more demanding, but competitively in the market too. And what I mean by that is there's no more excuse of going back and writing requirements that are going to be 40 pages, and then full release plan that has to be sent down to all tenants. You can configure most of these things at a client level for us. So it's great customer satisfaction, but then managing that expectation commercially, so you're not getting a million changes and then having to roll it into a change order. That's something we're going to have to work through as an evolution, I think. But I think that's going to be in all markets, not unique to Espero.
So kind of leveraging the speed of innovation. It's
I think
as we say at Pega, it's build for change. So you can evolve.
But I think it's going to. I don't think the commercial teams have caught up to that model yet to do high velocity changes.
Yep. And then are you looking to broaden out your product portfolio, or just really go deep on kind of the area you're in?
Yeah, we'll be focused just on clinical research. We know that persona really well. Our CEO is 20 years Pfizer, GSK, myself as well. So we have great domain expertise. There's a lot of room to do product line extensions, and we're already working through that a lot. A lot of that is around the Gen AI capabilities, and then on the downstream efficiencies, as mentioning about automation to downstream.
Yep. Nice. Amit?
I think we already have more use cases in the line. So next month we are releasing construction management. That's a fantastic add-on for our existing subscriber. That's what he wants now. He's seen it. We have shown him, and after that we also have lead management side of the things. So all queuing up, and we're planning to go from India to other geography as well, just to make sure how quickly we do that. But the whole journey is becoming small for me. We never thought like 6 months, we're already here. Next month we're delivering another product. So the fast of change is very, very good for us right now.
Yep. And you've invested a good amount of resources into this, so I can imagine that your expectations are high in terms of how this is going to change the trajectory of your company's growth as well.
Yes, yes. I think it's good to cross-train people, and it's really build the capability. And now, because of that capability, I can quickly do things very fast. And so it's cross-training, the coaching. It's kind of very important in getting into from services to provider side of the business.
Yeah, nice. And so last couple of questions, and I'll leave it open to you guys to answer. How do you see the collaboration with Launchpad as a product and as a team kind of evolving over time? And how would you like to see it evolve?
I think it's just going to get stronger from my perspective. Your team's always been great. As you mentioned too, fast turnaround times. We send a question over from a support or just technical question, roadmap question, everything about that is solved for, and we can plan for it appropriately. So I think it's just going to get stronger and tight, and a strategic partner alliance of sorts.
Great.
Even agentic AI will help. Means all the thing which is monitoring and doing low-level stuff.
Yep.
I can already see how much benefit the real estate industry will get out of it. So because there are a lot of people just doing that kind of low-level job, which is not required, and they can do main focus job. So that's something will really help us.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just at the beginning of this whole agentic theme, and I think the opportunity to shift from just apps that track stuff and automate to actually executing and getting work done is just a huge opportunity, and the stuff we saw today is going to help us, get there faster.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, we hope to leverage the commercial side of this, right? We love the marketplace, the AWS partnership. I mean, we're building for scale, and so a big part of our growth plan is to leverage partners and SIs. There's a lot of services, money, and loyalty. Shameless plug. So, we want to make sure that our product is capable and has that robustness with your help to be able to enlist partners to help us through this journey.
Yeah, great. Any last comments that you want to make to share with folks, just kind of in terms of what you've learned, or any thoughts in your minds that you want to share about kind of Launchpad and how they might leverage it?
I think it's one of the fastest platform I've ever seen. I was looking to other technology as well, but I'll be very fair. Means this is fantastic, and the speed of development from blueprint, from idea to all the way in 3 months' time, you'll have a live product. So this is amazing.
I mean, for me, I think don't just look at it for what it is today, right? Think about the direction this is going. It's early days, and so, I've been in technology for a long time, and the most important thing is not what the technology does today, but the team behind it and the direction it's going in. And that was the big decision factor for us.
Yeah. So. Cool. Great. So we're a little bit ahead. If there's any burning questions that folks have from the audience that you want to ask our panelists or me, we can take a couple of quick questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for Sanjay. You come from the Salesforce ecosystem, obviously.
If you hold on, we're getting you a mic so everybody can hear you. There you go. Thanks.
Question for Sanjay, because they come from a Salesforce ecosystem, heavily invested in it, built apps on it, etc. Competitively, how do you compare Salesforce current capabilities versus what Pega offers you?
You're putting me in a tight spot, aren't you? Look, Salesforce is great. Right? It's clearly an amazing ecosystem platform. The big sort of issues we found around Salesforce were mostly commercial. Licensing gets very expensive, especially at high volumes. So from that angle, this consumption model that Pega and Launchpad has is really great. The other big thing around Salesforce is something called governor limits. So when you get to high volumes, you've got limits on how much CPU usage you can use, how much storage, the API calls. And so if you have a very high volume system, then that platform may or may not be adequate. And so you have to look at how do you build elasticity into that. And that's sort of the journey that we were on, and when we, met Pega, and we decided to do this.
Probably a side conversation in that as well, if
Yeah,
you want more
happy
details.
to answer your questions.
Other questions? Saw a couple other hands.
Hi, I had one question for Sanjay, but I think it's partly answered, so I'll move on to Doug. So Doug, I have actually had a background in clinical trial as well, so just trying to understand, are you doing a phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3 kind of a trial? Obviously, phase 3 has a much larger audience that goes across many borders, so it would be good to understand how bigger is your scope and vision is to conduct these trials. Thank you.
Yeah, we're therapeutic and phase agnostic. Technically, you make the argument for phase 1 trials, the ROI is not going to be there. They're very lightweight. Protocols are lower. You can pretty much do it on an Excel spreadsheet without losing quality. So our target would be phase 2, phase 3, or a phase 4 trial, or a PMS trial, post-marketing surveillance trial. So those are our bread and butter, and that's where we build our business cases with clients. It's structured around their pivotal trials.
Great. Any last questions? Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. So I would like to know more about the challenges which you face while implementing the application in the Launchpad, and how much time is reduced when you actually develop the application in Pega, but how much time is reduced in Launchpad when you do it?
And are you asking time in terms of versus traditional full stack engineering?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe I can answer that. So I think Launchpad was almost same time as Pega, to be fair. And Pega, I think, has solved all the complex workflow situations, so all the case management, and it's almost the same, but it's different pattern how you use to do things. So time-wise, it's almost the same. It's just you need to make sure you have the right people to do the job, and you need to use more automation testing framework like we used, and things like that just speed up the whole thing. So it's not much difference between Infinity and Launchpad as it's time-wise, but it's quite fast both the times.
I mean, so for us, this initial project had a timeline of about 12 months for MVP, and that's been reduced to 5 months. So significant savings.
I mean, I think, Doug, you've got probably competitors that are, funded, tens of millions of dollars and spent years doing this stuff, and you guys kind of get in the space pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think the before and after is our lead competitor is 35 million Series A funded. We're 99% of that, and be able to compete. So I can't say from a velocity perspective from product development, but from the resource required, significantly less.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, this has been fantastic. Hope everybody enjoyed some insights from some builders, and thank you all for taking the time and sharing your journey with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.